Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lauren and thank you for joining me today. Today I wanted to go over some Q&A, so questions and answers. I'm answering some of your questions that you've been asking me. Some of these questions are new, some are questions that I get all the time, that I've gotten for years. So I kind of want to just make this video and answer some questions that I get repeatedly, and also new questions so you guys can learn a little bit more about me, and maybe it's something you never thought of but could be interesting. So I'm gonna go through some of those questions and answers. I did ask you guys on Instagram, on my Instagram page, if you had any questions for me. I wanted to answer that because I do get a lot of private messages asking questions about my lifestyle or about traveling or whatever it may be, and a lot of them are very similar, so I figured might as well just make a YouTube video and you guys can actually see me talking instead of me just replying, and it can kind of answer all those questions. Hey guys, thanks for watching today's video. If you want to see more from us, make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel. So one of the first questions I got was, what is one thing that you want to learn? So I would love to learn more languages. As you know, I've traveled all over the world. I've been to almost 80 countries now, living in different countries. I lived in Spain, I lived in Dubai. A lot of those countries that I really love, I've been to more than once, repeatedly, and I like to spend a lot of time in each country I go to, especially if I like it. So like I spent 6 months probably traveling through all of Italy, and I spent 6 months traveling all around Mexico. And even if it's a country I'm not like crazy about, I still want to spend a decent amount of time. I feel like you need at least a week. Even then, you have a week in one city, it's really not enough, I feel like, to really get the whole feeling and the atmosphere and the culture. There's just so much to take in when you're traveling, going somewhere else. But I'm not one of those people that likes to go somewhere for a day or two and then move on. I don't feel like, I mean, it's better than nothing. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I would pick a day or two over nothing, but if I can, I like to stay as long as possible, learn as much as I can. So I have learned languages. I did take 2 years of Spanish in high school and then 2 years in college also, so total 4 years. But I feel like in school you can only learn so much. You learn the basics, which was good groundwork, but when traveling, I think, was really the best way to learn a language for me, because I spent many months in a lot of Spanish speaking countries, or even in Italy, so I learned a little bit of Italian. Even when I was in the Middle East and I was in Dubai and I lived there for a few months, and I learned some Arabic, and I would just love to increase that learning. I would love to learn more. I know basics, and some of those languages I love. I love Italian, I love Spanish, I love Arabic. It's hard to learn a new language, especially as you get older. So but that's something I always wanted to work on, but it takes a lot of dedication. It's not that simple. Some people are really good at learning languages. That's not me. I'm not really bad, but I'm not really good. I'm kind of probably just average, which is not usually that easy. I think the average is not easy to learn a new language, but that is one thing that I would love to enhance, and definitely learn some other languages other than just Italian and Spanish. There's many more. So the next question I have is, what are your ambitions in life? Well, I have a lot of ambitions. One of them is to do with something I'm working on now. I love traveling. That's one of my biggest passions in life. But my other biggest passion that a lot of you guys might not know is I love animals. I'm sure you know I love animals, but I love animals to the point of I want to help animals. In the way that I worked as a manager for a nonprofit no-kill animal shelter last summer for a few months, and I've also done some other work. My whole life I've volunteered, I've worked in animal shelters, I walked dogs and took care of cats and cleaning animals, and I've always been a really big passion of mine. I've always owned animals. Right now it's kind of hard for me because I'm traveling. I do have 2 cats that live with my family for now, but I would love to have like so many animals. I love animals, and once I do kind of, I don't know, the nomad life, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if I'll be a nomad forever or if I'm gonna eventually settle down in one place, but if I do, I definitely want to have a lot of animals, dogs, pigs, cows. I love them all. I love all animals. So, but the point is, one of my biggest ambitions here in life, to answer the question, is to open an animal shelter. I already have my own nonprofit organization. I am the CEO of a nonprofit, and it's just more about now getting everything together. It's hard with all my traveling, but I've been working on that now here in like the quarantine. And one of my biggest ambitions in life is not only to travel the world, know the world, see as much as I can, but to help as many animals I can in my lifetime. I love to help place animals in homes, so in an animal shelter, maybe here in the US, dogs, cats that are homeless, that get brought into a shelter. I would love to own my own rescue one day. Not really like, it's like a shelter, but I don't want to have cages. I want to have an open rescue kind of area. That's something, a goal in my future that I'm going to be working towards. Difficult while traveling, but that's one of my big ambitions in the future. And also extending out from just local house pets. I want to work with different organizations in the world that help with funding and protection of exotic animals. Like when I was in Africa, I saw so much work that needs to be done there with rhinos and elephants and gorillas and chimpanzees, and it goes on and on. Birds, there's all kind, every animal needs protection pretty much. So there's a lot of issues with deforestation and human conflict with animals, and I want to try and help make that a better world in that realm. And I want to help to protect animals all over the world, no matter they're house pets, cats and dogs, or they're exotic animals. So that's something big picture that I am working on, and it is actively happening, but it's baby steps because of the traveling. We'll see. I'm making connections, so that's the good thing, all over the world. So I have a lot of people in my realm now to be able to make that happen when I'm ready to fully dive into it. Working a little bit on that now, but need a little more time, and you really need to be kind of like settled for the idea that I have. So anyways, that was one of my biggest ambitions. I don't know if you guys knew that about me, but now you do. What superpower do you wish you had? So which superpower do you wish you've had? I've always wished that I could fly. If I could have any superpower, I would love to fly, because obviously I love to travel. It would be nice if I could just like take off and just go wherever I want, but I love the freedom of birds and flying. And I always thought it was so cool how they just could take off and go anywhere in the world, and I think that's really cool, and that's something I've always wanted to do. Growing up, I always had dreams that I could fly, so which felt so real. In my dream, I'd wake up and I would just feel so refreshed and so awesome. Like, I don't know, something about flying and just the freedom of it, and being able to go wherever you want, when you want, just take off and, see everything underneath you below, and fresh air. It's just what a really cool thing to me. So that would be my superpower if I could pick one thing I could do. Definitely the ability to fly. So somebody asked me, would you rather have 9 million followers on Instagram or find true love? So that was an interesting question. I would pick definitely love. Some people probably would rather have followers, and that's totally cool. That's up to them. But I definitely think that, followers are great. I think if you have a platform and you use it in a good way, and you can use it to bring awareness, and you have people that support you, I think that's great. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think there are negatives also to it, but I don't think it has to be a negative. I think it can be used as a good thing. But I also think that if you have true love, that's like, I think the two don't even compare really. Like, I'd rather definitely have true love, because there's nothing like having one person really have your back and be your best friend and be there for you. And love is just something that is really special, and followers are great, but that only goes so far, so anyways, the next question is, would you rather always be 15 minutes late or always 30 minutes early? So some people might argue that 30 minutes early is like a waste of time. Maybe you're just sitting around. But I think for me personally, I would rather be 30 minutes early. I used to be a late person. When I was younger, I would always be running late to stuff. And I realized it just caused more anxiety and stress than it was even good. So I'd rather be 30 minutes early to everything and kind of just be there waiting or sitting around, but have the peace of mind that I'm already there and I'm ready to go. Because if I'm always late, it's like so much stress, like I'm late, I'm gonna be late. I don't know, you just have like, it gives you a lot of anxiety, for me at least. Some people I guess don't care, but I was raised, especially in this country, it's normal that being early is a good thing, and it's also it's kind of rude. People think it as rude if you're late or if you don't show up on time. It's almost seen as disrespectful too, and that's like starting off on a bad note. You don't ever want to make somebody think you're disrespectful, or just doesn't put a good taste in their mouth, especially if you're like first meeting somebody, or it's an interview, or it's for a job, or just anything. It's better to be early. People respect that more. At least here, I know that people definitely, especially in the US, but all over the world, but in some cultures, it's okay to be late. It's totally normal. But for Americans, I think we're raised that you have to be on time, you have to be early, and it's kind of disrespectful if you're not, and it shows that you lack responsibility. So for me, I'd rather be early, just get it done, and mostly because of the respect for other people, and also just for myself, not to be stressed out and worried about being late. So what inspires you right now? Well, I have traveled all the world, and all that I've learned, I've kept with me. So I think all those experiences I've had, I like to keep them with me, and I always do. And I think just the things I've seen and the world that I've witnessed has really inspired me to want to keep all those experiences with me, all those things I've learned, all those things I've seen. I know that's a gift to be able to do what I've done and what I keep doing, and I definitely don't take it for granted. And I'm inspired by the things that I've done, the things that I've seen, and I want to change the world in a way. It's a lot to want to do. That's a heavy burden to carry. But I know that there's a lot of things that I want to do. There's a lot of change I want to see in the world. And I know I'm one person, but I do think one person can change the world. It's not easy, but it's also something I have to realize. Like, sometimes I get stressed out because there's so much change I want to see, and I want to now. I'm impatient, and I know it's not that simple, but if I just keep at it, I know eventually things will end up really, really good and better than they were before. So little steps, little changes, perseverance, keeping with it. But that inspires me, is just the things I've seen, and it inspires me to keep going too, because I want to learn more, I want to see more, I want to be better, I want to understand more, and that's what I've done so far and continue to do. So the next question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how funny would you say you are? Well, that's hard to, answer about yourself, but that was a question someone gave me. And of course I would say I've won a 10 of 10 all day, right? No, I don't know. I'm not really I don't think I'm like a boring person, but I'm not the funniest person ever. I'm not there's definitely a lot funnier people than me, and I love funny people. So, but I'm definitely not the most boring person. So I don't know, right? 10 would be the right answer, I guess. But no, realistically, maybe like a 7. I don't know, maybe I'm giving myself too much credit. I don't really know. That's a hard question for me to answer. That's something you need to ask somebody else who knows me. But okay, the next question I have. This is an interesting one again. Do you like to travel? Well, I think most people would know the answer to that one. But maybe people that don't know me that well, or are new to my YouTube channel, or new to my Instagram or my social media, that's a question they would ask. And honestly, I do love seeing, experiencing, learning new cultures and places. I truly believe it helps you to grow, and therefore gives you the tools to create a better version of yourself. So yeah, that's why I love traveling. I love culture. I'm a big, I think that's the main reason I travel. Some people travel for nature, some people travel for animals or beaches, or just to, different experiences. I love culture, so I love traveling to places and just, studying and learning and experiencing why people are the way that they are. And I don't know, I think that really helps you to grow as a person and become a better version of yourself, because you really have to think and you have to expand your mind. And so yeah, I love to travel. I love it for so many reasons, but mostly because I think it's just always something new, something exciting. And even the bad things that happen to you, traveling isn't always pretty. Bad things happen, just like life, there's good and bad. But I think that even the bad things you learn so much from. It's like everything in life is enhanced when you're traveling. Everything is not just at a level of surviving, but a level of experiencing and learning and growing. And it even becomes an addiction because you're always on this high of like, just a new experience, something new. So it's addicting, but I love it. I mean, that's why I do what I do. The next question is, would you rather live alone in an expensive countryside palace or work hard and live in the city around your family? I would definitely like to work hard and live in the city around my family, because in the city I can better pursue my goals. I kind of talked about already what my ambitions are, what my goals are. I think in the city I could make more of a positive effect. I could make more of a change. I could, I don't know, just be more out there. But I also need the space too for what I want to do. So it's like maybe not country. When I think of a palace in the countryside, I think of like way out in the middle of nowhere, which I think that sounds beautiful. But if I like both actually, but if I had to choose, definitely in the city near my family. Also, probably the number one reason is to be near my family. I love my family. Family is number one. My parents have always been my biggest fans and number one supporters, and I always want to be close to them. That's probably one of the hardest things for me when I'm traveling too, is not being close to them. I talk to them every day, but I really enjoy being next to them and close to them when I am here. And if I was to settle down and live in one place, I've already decided I want to be near to them and spend as much time with them as I can. So definitely family in the city would be my choice, mostly because of the family. If my family lived in a big palace in the countryside and I could get a house next to them, I'd probably choose that. But the question was in the city with family. So that would be my answer for that one. Okay, next question. This is an honest question, an honest answer. Do you feel confident wearing a bikini? It's an interesting question, but the honest answer is sometimes. I'm human, I'm a normal woman, I'm a normal person, and I have things about myself that I like and I'm proud of and confident in, and there's also things about myself that I'm not confident in, that I struggle with, that I have insecurities about. So I think as human beings, we're all like that. Nobody is perfect, and even you might see somebody and you think that they're perfect to you, but to them, they still have insecurities. That's the human mind. That's just how we are. And we tend to overanalyze, I think, ourselves too. We look at ourselves and we see things that maybe other people don't, or we make it a bigger deal than it is. But to us, it's a big deal, and that's fine. Everybody deals with their own issues and pluses and minuses and struggles all to themselves. So yeah, I do feel confident sometimes, not always. There are things about myself that I don't feel confident. So I'd say it's like 50-50. It also depends on my shape. Sometimes I'm human. I go up and down in weight. Sometimes I'm like going to the gym all the time. I love the gym and I'm working out and I feel good and I look good. But even then, I still feel a little insecure because I just never, I don't know, I'm like an overachiever and I never feel like I'm 100% there. I'm never my best. So, but I try to think of the good stuff too. And there are things that I do like about myself, and you gotta try to focus on that. Sometimes it's easier to focus on the things that we don't like. But that's something, especially being somebody like me who's really like a go-getter, overachiever. I like all the time I tend to sometimes focus on the bad in that aspect. Like if I put on a bikini, I'm like, ooh, I don't like this doesn't look good. But I try to remember, you know what? Just enjoy your life. At the end of the day, you just have to enjoy life and just go with it and be happy. Don't let little things like that get you down. Like, who cares anyways at the end of the day? Just have fun, Don't. The next question is, what superhero would you be if you could choose? And I thought about this and I immediately came to my mind. The first answer is usually always right. I thought Spider-Man, and there's nobody else I could really even think that I would want to be, because Spider-Man, I just think he's pretty cool because he saves people. He's a good guy. I like that. And he also does good deeds. He's honest. He's a good person. And I think it's really cool how he basically can fly or swing anywhere he wants to go. He just throws his web and he's like basically like flying and can just go from one place to the other very quickly. Goes back to the kind of flying thing. I like to, if I could go somewhere quickly and easy, that would be super cool. So I just think, and looks like it would be really fun to have like a spider web and just swing. Anyways, so that's who I would pick, Spider-Man. All right, so the next question. Does your family have a motto, spoken or unspoken? I would say we don't really have a family motto that's spoken, but if I had to think of something that was unspoken, I would say, I wrote it down, that it would just be to always be a good, decent person, always work your hardest, and pursue your dreams and the things in life that truly make you happy, no matter what it may be. So my family, especially my mom, my dad, my whole family too, but I'm obviously very close to my mom, my dad. I'm an only child, so I am the only child, girl, and my parents have always supported me in whatever I've wanted to do. They've always told me, yeah, you just be happy. Like, no matter what I want to do, they've supported it because they want me to be happy. So I think that's the unspoken motto of the family, is just do what makes you happy. Don't really care. We've never really cared about what anyone else thinks or says. People always are going to have things to say, good and bad. I've had both. I've had people say bad things about me. I've had people say good things about me. And, you can't be worried what other people want. It's your life. It's one life. Time on this planet is shorter than we think, and you just have to do what makes you happy. And I think that's our motto, and we've all lived by that, and my parents have always supported me living like that. Do what makes you happy, be a good, decent person, and just have fun and don't care about what other people think. So that's kind of our thing, I would say. Okay, the next question. Do you like daily nutrition posts? So that was interesting, but yes, I do. I always like learning, as long as they're factual, they're reliable posts, actually things that are true and proven, then I'm all for it. If it's kind of like fake news, fake stuff, then not really, because I don't like misinformation, but that happens. It's just part of the world, it's part of reality. But I do like nutrition. I'm really into diets, and I'm human. I like to eat bad things too, but or drink sometimes. I don't drink too much, but in general, I like learning. So nutrition posts, to answer the question, yes, I do like nutrition posts, as long as they're factual and they're reliable and they're stating facts and they're informative, then I'm all for it, because I like learning new things, and I think we never stop learning in this life. And I think it's really good to know things that can help you to feel better, to look better, and that all comes with nutrition. Nutrition is the groundwork. What you're putting in your body is going to affect how you feel and how you look. So I'm all for learning how to better myself and better that and feel better and look better. Who doesn't want that? So, okay, the next question. Do you watch more Netflix or HBO? Definitely next. Okay. The next question. Do you watch more Netflix or HBO? Definitely Netflix. I've never actually watched HBO before. I never really watched TV actually much before I met Christian. He doesn't watch TV really either, but when I met him, he had a Netflix account, and then I kind of started watching Netflix. So we do that kind of on our downtime now. Before that, I never really watched TV. I didn't have a Netflix account, HBO, when I was just like traveling by myself all the time. I was literally always traveling. And I was most of the time by myself. I'd meet up with friends and stuff, but I was just so busy. I didn't have time for TV. I was never sitting at home. So when you're traveling, you're just constantly on the move and busy and doing stuff. So yeah, but now I definitely watch Netflix more. Just throw on a movie or something. So interesting question. The next one. What got you into doing videos on traveling in the first place? So I started traveling back about 12 years ago. I was right after I got out of college. I fell in love with seeing the world, different cultures and experiences. I never thought about doing videos for the first 10 years. I had already been to I don't even know, I can't remember the exact number, but 60 countries. And then I met Christian, and people had always told me when I was traveling, oh, you should be a blogger, you should do, write posts, or you should do videos, all this. And I think I get the idea. I thought, I understand the recommendation. I totally understand why people would want me to do that. I think it's a good idea. But I was just so busy in the experience and so busy just traveling. I had so much fun just traveling. I didn't really want it to be work. I wanted to just have fun, and I just wanted to experience. And I was so busy anyways. Traveling, for me at least, I'm just a very busy person, especially when I'm traveling. I didn't really have any downtime. I was either outside, I was doing something, I was exploring, I was meeting up with people, I was actually doing the traveling on a plane, on a train, or sleeping. I'm either on or I'm off. It's when I sleep hard, I sleep good, I love sleeping, but I'm also, when I'm awake, I'm go, go, go. I'm not really a sit down and like work at the computer kind of person. So I didn't really have the desire enough to do it. I'm the type of person that I have to really want to do something and have a lot of desire to actually do it. So it was never something I thought about doing. And then I met Christian, and he's like the opposite of me in that way. He likes working on the computer. He likes editing videos. Like, I don't have patience for that kind of stuff. I'm a very impatient person, which I need to work on being more patient, but I like things, you know, quickly, and I can't sit in a computer and I get bored with that kind of stuff. So but he likes editing. He actually enjoys it. So he came up with the idea, like, why don't we start recording all of the traveling? So he joined me on travels, and we said, let's start recording it. And then he wanted to do all the editing, and for me, the fun part is just being able to kind of host it, or just showing you guys, bringing you with us pretty much is what I'm doing anyways, and just being on camera has never been an issue for me. So it was more of like the back work part that I wasn't excited about or a fan of, but he likes that, so it works out that we just go and do our normal life. We have fun, we use our camera, we bring our camera around, record what we're doing, and then he edits it. So that's why we started doing travel videos, because he said, why not? And I love having the videos because I love sharing with you guys, and I love sharing with people, and I know a lot of people can't travel the world or do the things that we do, so I like to be able to share that with you guys, and you see a little bit about what we're doing, what we're experiencing. That's pretty cool in the world we live in today, that we can actually do that, and you can see our experiences and visit places without even having to physically go there. But I also like, even more than that, I like having the videos for ourselves, because one day, you know, I don't know, in 20 and 10 and 30 years, you can look back and I can watch those videos, and it brings me back to that time, and I can remember it. It's like our memories. So I love pictures and videos for that reason, because I love the memories that come with it. When you see it, you kind of forget, as life is very busy, you forget things, and then you see a video, or, you know, our 10-minute video of when we were in Egypt, and I'm like, oh, I remember that guy when we met that guy. I remember going to that place, and it's just filled with so much emotion, and for me, happiness, and brings me back to that time. So I really like that. So that's really cool. So let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. But yeah, he was into YouTube also. So he was like, he liked YouTube. He watched YouTube when I met him. He's also 5 years younger than me, so I think it's more of his generation, even more than mine. But he was really into it, so he's the one who came up with the idea, like, let's make a YouTube channel. And I was like, okay, if you want to do the work for it, I don't care. You know, I'm totally okay with being on camera. So that's how I kind of started it. He edits everything. He does a lot of hard work. He's a really good editor, so it works out. I just started enjoying the process of doing the videos and being able to share, and the hosting and all that. I love all that. And yeah, then we got hooked on it, and I really have no clue about YouTube. I'm still not even, to be honest, like, I don't know that much about YouTube. He's a YouTube person, but I have fun, and I like doing the videos. I like sharing with you guys, and I like having them for the future. So next question. How many pairs of shoes do you own? It's an interesting question. Too many to count, I would say, because I don't even know an exact number, but I love shoes. I want to say I love shoes, but I love sneakers. I love tennis shoes. Nike is my favorite brand. I could have a Nike in every single color and shape and form and whatever it may be. I love sneakers. I'm a sneakers person. I used to be really into high heels when I was a little younger, but that was a different time in my life, and I used to have like a bunch of high heels. Now I never wear heels because it's just, I don't like go out that much anymore. It's just not realistic, and I just would rather be more comfortable these days. It's crazy how it changes. When you're younger, it was like all about, like, heels were like my sneakers, you know, and now I'm like sneakers all day long. So yeah, that's my favorite. I might have a little bit of an addiction to that, but that's okay. We all have our own little things, right? Could be worse. Okay, the next question. If you were a candy bar, which candy bar would you be? I would definitely have to say there's two, because these are probably my two favorite candy bars. I don't eat candy that much, but if I'm gonna have something, I like Snickers or Reese's. I just love both of those. Those are my two favorite candy bars. I love the taste, the textures. They're totally different. They're both chocolate, so I guess I'm not, but texture-wise, you know, I love chocolate and I love peanut butter. So you have, you know, the peanuts and the crunchiness of the chocolate and the Snickers, and the Reese's is like smooth and soft and has peanut butter and chocolate. So I don't know. I would be either one of those because I just love them and they taste good. Should turn my phone on silent, by the way. It keeps going off. Sorry about that. Anyways, okay. What is something you're glad you'll never have to do again? So I would have to say skydiving, because I did it twice. The first time was like a bucket list thing for me. I wanted to check it off my bucket list. I was happy to do it. The experience was cool, but I didn't really like the feeling of skydiving. When I jumped out of the plane, it sounded like a good idea, check it off the bucket list, super adventurous, but I actually got really nauseous, because what they do is you jump off, and then I guess for them it's fun, but they spin you around while you're going down before they release the parachute, and then release the parachute. So by the time we jumped out, started spinning around, and then the parachute went out to kind of just float down. When the parachute went out, I was really nauseous from all the spinning of jumping out of a plane. I guess that sounds like that would be like a normal thing, I guess, but I didn't like it. I guess some people don't mind it, or people don't get nauseous, but I don't like being nauseous, so I didn't like the feeling. I'm happy I did it. It was a great experience, and I checked it off my bucket list, but it's not something I really would look forward to doing again. I actually did do it again though after that. My first time was in Florida here locally, and I wanted to do that as a bucket list thing. And then I went to Dubai when I was living in Dubai, and I did it for a second time because I thought, oh, maybe the first time was just a weird experience, and I thought maybe the next time I won't be nauseous. So I did it again, because also in Dubai, it's like one of the best places I think personally in the world to skydive. They have beautiful view as you drop down over the palm. You can even Google it. It's really pretty. I have pictures of I have pictures of me actually doing the skydiving as well there. But the second time I did it, and it was the same experience for me. It was still really beautiful and fun, and I loved it. I'm very happy I did it. I would not replace it, but it was the same kind of feeling as I jumped out of the plane. We did the spinning, and then I got nauseous, and I didn't feel good. So probably wouldn't do it again. Not the thing I would be most excited about doing. It's not like I feel like I need to do it again, but I'm happy that I did do it. Okay, so the next question. What are you thankful for? Well, first of all, I'm very thankful for my family. I have the best and most supportive parents. I've already gone over that a little bit. Secondly, I'm thankful for just life, I would say. Life itself, and every day you're alive is a gift. Not everybody get that gift. Some people, I don't know, I just feel like it's a hard thing to explain, but I feel like we really are lucky to even just be alive, to be able to be here, to experience this life, and that is a gift, because not everybody gets that gift. And so those are probably my two biggest things, because I'm just happy to be alive, happy to be healthy. Healthy is something I'm very thankful for. You have to be thankful for your health if you're healthy, and even if you have issues and you have health problems, I mean, it can always be worse. There's always worse out there, and that makes me, I'm thankful for what I have, and you have to remember those little things. Sometimes in life we forget about the little things, simple as that, but to be healthy or have our health, or even if we have a problem, it can always be worse. Just be thankful for what we already have, and life itself every day is really a gift that not everybody gets. So my family, I have great parents, my health, life itself, getting out, able to travel. Traveling is a huge thing that I'm thankful for, being able to see the world. I know it's something that not everybody gets to experience, and I'm very thankful and appreciate that I'm lucky enough to be able to do that and see the world and learn and grow, and even be able to bring my experiences and things that I've learned and see back and share it with you guys and share it with the world, and hopefully make a positive difference and a positive change moving forward, bring some light to some things that maybe we don't know about, we only know through experience, and I've experienced, so I can share with you guys, because maybe you can't have the same experience as me. Also being able to go to the gym and work out. I have a lot of things to be thankful for. Not everybody is able to be healthy enough to go to the gym to work out, and I love that. I think that is a gift itself, to be able to be healthy enough to go take care of your body. Going to the gym, working out makes me feel good. It's something I can control with my body, and not everybody has that ability to do that, so I think that's definitely a gift and something I'm thankful for. Just walking in general, or going on walks. Not everybody can get up and just go for a walk, and I love walking, so I also feel like that's something I'm thankful for, and a gift in itself. Not everybody's just able to get up and go, so that's all on its own. They all go together, kind of hand in hand. So yeah, being our vision, this is what I wrote, our vision, being able to see, being healthy in our mind. These are all things to be thankful for every day. You know, not everybody has these things, and some people, the people that don't have it, maybe they have other things, you know, so it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I am thankful for the things that I do have. That's what the idea is here. We have to focus on the things we do have and be thankful for that still. Okay, yeah, not focus on the bad. We have to be thankful for the little things and things we don't realize. We need to appreciate how good we have it. Little things, even like having a roof over our head, or having clean water, having food, having clothes, having electricity. I can go on and on. These are all gifts and in themselves, and things that we need to be thankful for, because I've traveled the world and I've seen places where they don't have clean water, they don't have roofs over their head, they don't have clean clothes or even nice clothes. They have to wear the same outfit every day. So these are little things that we all need to be thankful for, that we're very lucky we have, that sometimes I think we forget. So think about it, that maybe if you're feeling bad, you have a lot more than you may realize. Okay, so next question. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? I see myself heading and running a very successful nonprofit that I've created, and my organization is helping billions of people, animals, and the environment as well on a global level. I also see myself with a beautiful, healthy, happy, and successful family and life. So we kind of already touched over that. I see myself, you know, going to the gym, being in great shape, drinking lots of water, feeling good, looking good, and also making a positive impact on the world, spending time with my family, being happy, just creating a beautiful life, and helping as many people and animals and the environment as well. In 10 years, that is my ideal goal, and I know I'm gonna get there. I can feel it, and I have the ambition to do it, and that's what's really gonna make me truly in life. It's made me truly happy right now. I'm already doing that, I'm already living that, but I see it on even a bigger scale in 10 years. So that's something fun, that's something good to look forward to. It's always good to have something to look forward to in life. That's what keeps me going, and I think for most people too. So good to have something to look forward to and something to work towards. So my next question I got was, what is your favorite family tradition? I would say all getting together for Christmas. My family all gets together for Christmas, and I love Christmas. Christmas is definitely my favorite time of year. I just love family. I love getting together. I love just the whole spirit of Christmas, and really, it makes me happy. I appreciate seeing my family and getting everyone together. It's hard to get everybody together, you know, especially as you get older, everybody has their own lives. So Christmas is a time to really get together and be with your family, and it just makes me happy. So next question I got was cat or dog? So for me, that's a hard one, because I've always been an animal person my whole life. At one point, several years ago, I would say I was more of a dog person, but as time goes on, I'd say I'm equally both. I truly love all animals, and I feel that I equally love all animals. I love dogs as much as I love cats, as much as I love a camel, as much as I love a bird, as much as I love a hamster. I love animals in general, all animals. I don't see them as like, you know, that's a pig and that's a dog. I see them as like souls. That's, you know, something that has a soul. That's something that, you know, is to love and is beautiful in its own way. And each animal is different, so in their own way, but they're all beautiful too. They're all souls that have their own beauty in them. So I love all the animals equally. Okay, the next question is, how do you deal with bad habits in quarantine? Right now we are in a pandemic, we are all in quarantine, and I know it's difficult for each of us in our own way, but I would say, okay, let me finish the question first, there's more to it. So they said, how do you deal with bad habits in quarantine? My worst bad habit is binge eating, and it's really been affecting me these past few weeks. I would love your perspective. Thanks in advance, and I look forward to connecting. So that's the full question. So what I had to say was, well, me personally, especially when it comes to binge eating, I've managed to keep my weight under control and even down. I've actually lost weight in quarantine. And one of my best friends said to me the other day, like, you're like the only person I know that's actually got more fit or lost weight, looks better than before this quarantine. I guess everybody's eating and all that, but me personally, I count calories, and I think that's very helpful. It gives me a goal, it gives me something to focus on, which makes me feel better being in quarantine instead of just being, I think if you're just sitting around and you have nothing to look forward to or no real direction, because right now it's a tough times, a lot of people aren't working, you don't really have something to focus on or keep your mind busy. That keeps me busy, it keeps me focused, it gives me a goal. So I'm counting my calories. It's also keeping me in check. I have like a goal of X amount of calories per day that I want to hit, and I make sure I don't go over that, and I feel satisfied at the end of the day when I don't go over it, and it just gives me kind of a range to, okay, I can eat this much. So that definitely helps. I don't binge eat that way because I have a goal and I want to hit that goal by the end of the day. And it also keeps me in check. It keeps me staying, you know, fit. It keeps me looking good or feeling good. They go hand in hand. So that's what I do. There's a really great free app that I can recommend that you can use. It counts your calories each day. It's called MyFitnessPal, and you can download it for free. You can type in whatever food you're eating for that day and it counts your calories for you. So that's what I use, and it's really helpful. Keeps me in check, helps me to count everything that I'm consuming. So keeps me accountable for what I'm doing, what I'm eating. That's my response for that question. So the next question, what is the best gift you've ever been given? I know as cliche as this sounds, but it would be something just as simple as love. Sounds simple, but it's actually like a really complicated thing. And it's not so simple actually. When someone is able to give you their true, uncomplicated love, it's a really big gift, I believe. I'd say that it's the best gift I've ever been given in my life is love and freedom, the support of my mom, my dad, and Christian for my entire life. So I've always had 120% support from my family, especially my mom and my dad, but my whole family too, really. But I guess I just focus on my mom and my dad because they've been the closest ones to me in life in general and supporting me 24/7. So they've always had my back, always giving me the freedom that I want or that I needed to just do whatever I want, be whoever I want. So I think that's a really big gift because they've let me pursue what I've wanted to do, and especially growing up, they have the most kind of control over how your life is they don't control exactly how your life is gonna turn out, but they give you the flexibility or the freedom to do what you want when you're younger. So they've always given me complete freedom, always given me love and support just to be who I want to be and support whatever adventure I want to take. So I think that's the biggest gift, is just being loved, being supported, and freedom. Freedom is a huge gift, and that even goes beyond my family. That goes, you know, I'm lucky and fortunate to be born in a country that I have freedom, have a passport to be able to travel so much. Freedom is such a big gift, and especially in this quarantine, I've learned even more. I appreciate so much more having freedom. You realize that that really is a big gift all in itself. It goes back to the little things. We need to be thankful, even something like that. There's a lot of people in other countries that don't have that. They don't have freedom because of their country or because of their parents. So that's something that really have to be thankful for as well. Okay, so the next question. What is the most daring thing you've ever done? Well, I'd have to say probably jumping out of an airplane twice. That's pretty daring to me. Traveling the world also 10 years by myself. Pretty daring. Most people think I'm crazy for it. Most people have always said that I'm crazy, but I'm just adventurous, and it's never stopped me. I've never been really scared as far as just going and, you know, doing what I love and doing what I want to do. So I'd say that's pretty daring, being a young girl in their 20s traveling by themselves all over the world, every continent. So yeah, I would say looking back, I was pretty fearless, still am. I even go to places that people told me not to go to. People told me, like, you know, that's not a safe place, especially for a girl by themselves, and it never really fazed me. I never let anything stop me from doing what I wanted to do. But yeah, I always just went. I never really listened, so that's pretty daring, I would say. I've been in countries when they was in the middle of a war. I've been in war zones. People told me not to go, but I really wanted to go, so I went. So I just do crazy, random, daring things like that. Maybe some people wouldn't, so I would say that's pretty daring. What is your birthday? My birthday is May 1st. It actually just passed, so I had an awesome birthday. I like my birthday. I think May 1st is a good day. That one's a simple one. Okay, we are on the last two questions. So, do you feel fitness plays a big role in your life? I would say absolutely. I fell in love with fitness and working out at a very young age. By 12 years old, I had my first gym membership. I was already starting to train. I always love the atmosphere and the feeling I got from working out. Since then, I've worked as a personal trainer, I've worked in gyms, I've done CrossFit, boot camps, yoga, Bikram or hot yoga, however you want to name it. I've probably done it all. So I love fitness, I love working out. Again, I love to be in control of how I look, how I feel. I think they go hand in hand. If I look good, I feel good. If you work out, you eat healthy, you're gonna look good and you're also gonna feel good. So I notice if I eat something bad or something that's not healthy, I'm very in tune with my body. I eat something bad, I feel bad, and I don't like that feeling. I don't like to feel bad. And I'm very, very sensitive. If I eat something, I'll start to feel bad right away. So I try to, in general, eat healthy, and I do it, to look good, because I like to look good and I like to feel good. It's a mental thing as well. Everything is connected. So I think that it's really important to feel good first and foremost. If you feel good, you're gonna be good in your mind, mentally, so that all comes to nutrition. And also working out is like almost just an extra additive. It just makes you feel strong, makes you feel confident, and I think that's good for your mental health as well, which is also very important. So yep, that's that one. And the very last question, we're finally there. What 3 things do you think of most each day? That's a tough one. I have a lot of thoughts in this mind. This mind thinks a lot. It's always been a blessing and a curse. But I would say there are 4 things. So I couldn't get it down to just 3, but I would say the things I think about most are speaking with or seeing my parents daily. Daily communication with my mom and my dad is very important to me. I'm always thinking about, I need to call them, I need to check on them, I need to see how they're doing, I just want to hear their voice. I just like to communicate with my parents as much as possible. So I think of that every day. The next thing is, I always think of a new place that I can go or I can explore. I'm always thinking like, where can I go next? What can I see next? What can I do next? I'm always looking for a new adventure, a new experience. So I live for that kind of stuff. As you can see, the next thing would be working out. I'm constantly thinking of doing some kind of physical activity, lifting weights if I can. I love going to the gym, lift weights. That's not always an option with my lifestyle, with traveling. When I'm home or I'm in the US, I try to go to the gym almost every day if I can. It's like, I love it. It's an addiction. But if I can, I try to think about how I can get 10,000 steps, how I can go where I can walk. I try to hit 10,000 steps a day. So I'm always thinking every day about getting some physical activity because it makes me feel good. It goes back to looking good, feeling good, and I think that's important. I try to do that every day, some type of physical activity. And the last thing I would say is I think a lot about how I can make a difference in the world for people, for animals, and for the environment. I want to excel and help in a positive way. So I always am thinking about how I can help animals, how I can help the environment, how I can help people. There is so much good in this world, but there is also a lot of bad. I've seen it, I've experienced it, and it's true, it exists. I try not to focus too much on the bad because that starts to wear on you. Again, it's a heavy feeling. I want to save the world. I want to help animals. I want to save animals from suffering. I don't want innocent lives, people too. I think it all goes together. I want animals to be happy and healthy and not be, killed or enslaved for nothing, for no reason. But I also think that goes back to people and how people, our knowledge and our existence and what we think and what we know, it's all connected. And I think if people feel good and they're educated, then that will help with animals and help with the environment. And we need the environment as people to thrive. We need a healthy air. We need, it's all connected. If we're using plastic and just throwing it away in the trash, it ends up in the ocean. Animals are consuming that. Fish are consuming plastic, and then we're eating fish, and then we're getting sick. It's all connected. So I really am thinking every day of how I can make a positive impact, how I can reach as many people as I can to kind of make the world a better place, to educate people. I think education is key. Education is so important. If you don't know, then how are you going to help? How are you going to make a difference? How are you going to make changes? And I want to help animals and people and the environment because it's all one big world. We all live and share all of this together, and it's all connected. So I'm constantly thinking about that. It's a heavy burden to have, and I try to sometimes think, all right, it's just one day, but every day that's my personality too, is I need to try to do as much as possible. So I need to, it will come with time. I'm working on it. I think about these things every day, trying to stay fit, trying to feel good, take care of myself, but also see how I can help the world, how I can have as many new experiences and adventures in this lifetime that we have, and also how I can spend as much time and connect as much as possible with the people that I love. So that's it. I finished it. I know it was a lot, but I wanted to get those questions. There were a few more questions that came in, but those were the ones I wanted to touch on for right now. If you have any more questions, just drop them in the comments below. I will either write back to you or I'll try to do a new video. Tell me what you prefer. But yeah, I have no problem answering these questions. I just have to have the time to sit down. As you can see, it takes a little bit of time. So I was lucky to have the time this morning. I'm happy to answer those questions because a lot of those questions people ask me a lot, and I love to answer you guys. I just sometimes, life is busy, and I'm happy that I'm finally able to answer them for you because I like to answer the questions you have. I have no problem with questions. So if you have any other questions, drop them in the comments for me and I will definitely get back to you and answer them as soon as possible. All right? Thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching. Hope you found this informative, maybe learned something, or just found it interesting. So thanks, and remember to subscribe if you haven't already. If you already have, happy to